Bro, that is how you intro a show. Can everybody hear me tonight? Mic check, mic check. Okay. So, welcome to another episode of Roofing Underground. I am your host, Dave Taggart, the Roof Poppy, everybody's your favorite roofer's favorite roofer. And we are coming you tonight with a simple message that I really have been contemplating for a while. There's been, obviously, in the last 3 years of our business, we have experienced a lot of growth, a lot of change, a lot of things come with that. And I wanted to help share some of the information that we've learned along the way. I've been very blessed and fortunate to have a lot of mentors in this space. So there are quite a lot of folks in the industry that I can turn to ask questions and to get sound advice from. And some of this advice is extremely valuable. And I wouldn't be doing what I feel like I'm called to do if I did not somehow share this advice with you. I'm going to take these off for a second. Okay, so what we've learned in the last 4 years is that there are 4 key warning signs that business owners, specifically roofing contractors, can look for. And these warning signs are going to give you very clear indications that a problem is coming. Okay. Now, this problem can come in many different forms, but typically we are going to talk about the 4 things that you can be on the lookout for before these problems actually come in and tank your business. Okay. The first one, this is an important one. If you're watching this video right now, you may want to take down some notes here. The first one is the absolute most important warning sign you're ever going to get, and that is a problem inside of your culture. Okay. The attitude, the professionalism, and the productivity, the culture of your staff. If you have a particular member of your staff that is consistently coming into the office late every day. We don't have that here, but let's say that if we had a particular office member coming into the office late every day, and this person always has an excuse for that, that is indicative of their inability to care for the culture and the level of expectation that is set to arrive to work ready to go on time that day. So you're going to see things in behavior that indicate that there's a problem with the alignment with that employee's position in the culture. And so that's the first thing that you look out for. If you're a sales organization and you have sales guys, you start seeing attitudes and behaviors that are not indicative of people that want to be on a team, right? Like these problems are not these are not symptoms or signs that go unnoticed by most business owners. These are all things that we tend to pick up on in our guys, right? If we have, say, for instance, here at A5, we have 9 salespeople, and if 2 of those sales guys are having problems in their personal lives, it shows up in their KPIs. It shows up in their inability to, hold themselves to the standard or to the level or whatever the case may be. There's warning signs about the behavior. And things that affect company culture have to be handled appropriately, right? Now, how that's handled is completely situational. It just depends. But what I'll say is this: the integrity of the company culture is paramount. That is extremely important. If you have core values, you hire and fire by your core values. You have to be the example of those core values, and you have to hold people accountable for living up to those core values as well. And that can be a very difficult thing. But those people having an issue holding themselves to the core values is indicative of an issue with the culture. And again, big red warning flag. You have to look out for that, because when there's culture problems, you start to see issues with red flag number 2, and that is your lead flow. Okay. Culture affects people's ability to want to execute or to accelerate towards their goal, right? Bad company culture cannot just stop, or if somebody's having a problem inside of their culture or inside of your culture in the social confines that you have built as a business owner, that problem can trickle over into other people's areas if the water's not contained. right? If you're not doing what needs to be done in order to isolate a problem and fix the problem, that problem can spread. So when you have a problem with culture, it affects the attitude and the behavior is it's indicated inside of a salesperson or an organization's of businesses inbound lead flow. We're not as productive as door-to-door salespeople when we have an issue with our staff or management. Nobody likes to work for managers that are just pains in the ass. So you're going to see a decrease in productivity across members that have problems with culture. So the lead flow is the second red flag. If you see you have a sales guy, some of you roofing contractors have multiple salespeople. You can typically tell when somebody's having a problem in their lead flow. Salespeople's jobs are to generate leads. And when a salesperson's not generating leads, as a sales manager, you reach out and you say, hey, man, I've noticed a pattern here. I want to pull you to the side and have lunch with you, chit chat with you for a second. I really just want to check on you because when we see this, it typically means this over here. So have the conversation and see what you can do to address the issue. Maybe you need to create a performance enhancement squad or some sort of a program that's a little more structured with accountability and discipline, right? Better programming, better blueprints for the individual salesperson and their sales goals. But you have to address that problem when you see red flag number 2. And again, that is lead flow. Now, this is very important. The transition between red flag number 2, lead flow, and red flag number 3, which is attrition. This is when people start to leave your company. Okay. You're firing people, people are quitting, people are just, leaving for no reason. They're just not showing up, whatever the problem may be. You are losing employees. Right. And if you're a sales organization like most roofing contractors, at least the roofing contractors in the industry, niche industry that we deal with, there's a lot of sales organizations that are inside of roofing and construction companies. And so when we have culture problems, it's indicative of poor execution or problems there. You see it in the lead flow. And then as people or salespeople start to prepare to leave a company, their lead flow significantly dwindles, right? We get down to the bare minimum, bare bones, or sometimes even below the KPI standard for what we want for lead gen. And so you see it in attrition. These folks will start to leave your company. Okay. Which means as a sales company, you no longer have that volume of inbound leads as a result of a culture issue. So what happens, Dave, when these guys leave? Well, you can count all of their KPIs and their sales that they used to have for your company bye-bye. And you're going to have to make a huge plan to take care of business in their absence. Okay. But you should see this problem before it occurs, because you're going to see the KPIs of the salespeople start to dwindle. And salespeople that aren't putting leads in the pipe are selling your product somewhere else. This is typically what salespeople do. They sell things. So if they're not selling for you, then they're making an income. Hopefully they're not retarded. They're making an income somewhere else. And you have to be prepared for that person to want to leave at some point in time. And hopefully it's on good terms. Hopefully everybody does what they're supposed to do and things go well. But you can't control everything. You just kind of have to do what you're supposed to do in that instance. I'd suggest if you are a company that has people that are attriting, they are leaving your business, you create an offboarding process for those people. Just like you have new hire paperwork for W-2 employees or independent contractors with their onboarding process, you should also have an offboarding process in your company as well. Because let's face it, not everybody plays college football more than 3 or 4 years. Okay. Matter of fact, nobody really does. So if you're lucky, you're going to have most employees for an average span, most small businesses, 4 to 9 years. Okay. If you're a good company and you've got great compensation and good culture, you can retain employees for 10, 20, 30 years. It happens all the time. It's a little bit less common with this current generation. However, it is something that can be done. So once you have people leaving your business as a sales company or a roofing contractor with a sales organization, the fourth red flag that you're going to experience is cash flow issues. Okay. You no longer have the inbound leads. You no longer have the salespeople generating the leads because they've quit or they've moved on over to other companies. And then you have expenses as a business that still have to be made, right? My business, our business at A5 has monthly bills that are due. And this is called an overhead and operational expense. It costs us money as a business every day to turn on the lights in the building. It costs us money every day to get our project managers and our team where they need to be. It costs us money every day to email and communicate with our clients and with insurance companies, right? There is an operational expense. And if you are not generating any new sales as a business, the rent is still due. So you're going to start having cash flow issues. First one, red flag, culture. Second red flag, lead flow. Third red flag, attrition. Fourth red flag, cash flow. So you're sitting here saying, hey, I've got all these red flags, Dave. I'm looking at them on paper. I can identify them. How do we solve these problems? The best answer I can give you is that culture fixes all things. Okay. Culture fixes all things. Number one, if you have a culture problem, you fix it by fixing your culture. How do you do that? Clarify the mission. Get everybody to understand what the vision is. Adopt and establish core values if you don't have them. And then you must indoctrinate not only your staff, but your customers with those core values and that mission and that vision. The people inside of your organization have to believe in their hearts and in their minds when they go to sleep at night, you, the business owner, will go to fucking war for these people. They must know this about you, and they must believe this to be true at all times. And your customers need to know this as well. If you are not telling them that, if you are not preaching this at your meetings, if you are not pouring these things into your staff, then you are missing a huge fucking opportunity to save yourself from ever having these four red flags. Culture fixes culture. Number two, lead flow. How do I fix a lead flow problem? I don't think I have a culture problem, but I see a lead flow problem. Culture. You must create the environment of excitement inside of your organization. If your salespeople do not understand what they are doing and why they are selling a product that they're selling, if they don't have a clear idea of why they are getting up every day and doing extremely hard fucking tasks, if they don't have a clear expectation of the life that is on the other side of hard work and adversity, they're not going to generate leads. If they are not inspired by a particular goal, if they don't even have an income goal, how is the salesperson who is entirely commission based going to chase a commission that he doesn't have an idea of where it at? You can't hit a target that you can't fucking identify. It's impossible. It is literally impossible. If you were to take a target with the longest, biggest fucking gun in the entire world and put it on a certain spot of the earth and travel your target over the horizon line where the gun could not see it, there's no way that you could convince me that gun would ever be capable of hitting and seeing that target and even calculating the distance and where it needs to go and what the trajectory is going to be. There's zero chance that shit is happening. If a salesperson does not have an income goal, he is not a salesperson. He is a donation station. It comes his way. He'll take whatever comes his way. So you have to be aware. You have to watch for those red flags. Oh, we're back. What's up, everybody? Thanks for bearing with me there for a second. I appreciate that. The battery in my camera died. How fun it is doing shit live on Facebook. So we're going back to this problem here with attrition. We got lead flow. You solve it with company culture. You inspire them to chase a goal. And then attrition. Inspired salespeople that are well taken care of and bought into the mission do not leave the companies that they're with. People that leave companies are no longer in line with the company culture. They're no longer bought into the mission of that company. They no longer believe in their leadership. They have maybe personal issues that they're moving on, they're moving out of state, whatever the case may be, accelerating or excelling in their life, people that are doing well and that they're on the right path. They don't quit what they're doing. That's simply not something that focused and do. Okay. So focused individuals, determined individuals don't necessarily just get up and run away. You fix attrition being a strong company culture. That is how you fix attrition. And then finally, cash flow. Dave, I've got a cash flow problem. Let's go back to your mission and vision that you created in your culture resolution for all your other problems. If your mission and your vision are readily identifiable, you should never have a culture problem if you are an owner operator and the only salesperson in your organization. If you know what the mission is and you live your core values like they mean something, you should never have an individual culture problem. You, yourself. Number two, because you adhere to your culture, your personal code of ethics, your own accountability, your own discipline, your own daily manifestation of motivation and grit to get done what needs to be done, you will never have a lead flow problem. Just like salespeople should have an outlined sales process, my sales process individually starts with knock a door. You knock the door. That is what you do to generate leads. You pursue the prospect wherever the prospect, that is what you do to generate leads. So you maintain your own individual culture and you don't have a lead flow problem. If you don't have a lead flow problem, you will not quit. Plain and simple. If there's work to be done, you will handle the work. If there's leads in the pipe, you're an owner operator, you go do what needs to be done. And finally, if you don't quit and you fix your individual culture, you will not have a cash flow problem. Hopefully, your business will survive. Hopefully, your individual culture will be powerful enough to propel you through all the bullshit and the adversity that you are going to have to face running a small business in today's world. But if you want to survive, the best advice I've ever been given is to look for these 4 red flags and do everything you can to make sure that you are prepared to handle and correct the red flags as soon as you start seeing them pop up. Because once it gets to 4, you might be in big trouble. So check out, watch out, and be aware, be vigilant. Look for these 4 red flags in your daily operations, in your weekly reviews of your business, in your monthly and quarterly reviews. Track the data. Got to track your data and be a smart business owner. Be a smart business owner. I hope this advice and this information helped somebody. I hope it gave you guys a little bit of good insight. I love being able to take the information that's being shared with me, everything that I'm being taught and that I get to implement in my business. I learn from people that are doing incredible things, and I just really feel obligated to share as much of this information as I possibly can. So coming up, we have at the end of this month here at A5, we're doing something pretty cool. We're actually, me and one of our project managers went out to Polyglass to go do some hands-on training with modified systems and with acrylic and silicone systems and all sorts of liquid applied coatings. We are building a mock flat deck. We're going to build a giant flat roof with some inside and outside corners here in the office, and we are going to have the instructors from Polyglass come down and get us hands-on certification training with these modified systems and with this acrylic and liquid coating. So if you don't know what that is, it's just a great way to fix a really ugly flat roof. We got that coming up. We're also going to be announcing for San Antonio, if you are in the San Antonio area, on July 12th, there is a sales training event for business owners, specifically contractors, July 12th in San Antonio with my good friend Doug Mitchell. He is the creator and founder and owner of Building Great Sales Teams, BGST. I want you to go check them out. Their event is in San Antonio, July 12th. At the end of July, A5 Roofing is going to be putting on, with TRCO, we're going to be doing a free roofing sales training session. This is going to be a 6-hour in-person event. We are going to have lunch provided. If you are in San Antonio, I want to invite you guys to come see how we do it at A5, what our process looks like, hear the things that we teach our door-to-door salespeople, and the way that we set up our individual process to stand out as business owners and to stand out as a company. I want to share this information with you. So at the end of July, we are going to be doing this. Business owners, feel free to bring your sales people out. Sales guys, feel free to hit me up if you're in San Antonio, Austin, wherever you're at. I want you to get in touch with me so we can get you out to our free sales training at the end of July. So that is it for us. I definitely appreciate you guys letting me hang out with you this evening. It has been a blast as always. Sorry about that little technical difficulty there at the beginning, or towards the middle rather. And again, your favorite roofer's favorite roofer. I'm your boy Dave, the MF CEO here at A5 Roofing and Roofing Underground, and I will see you guys later. Thank you.